Oh man, listen to that, dog. That right there, that is not just music. That is the sound of a core memory being unlocked for us. It's so good. Koji Kondo built a living, breathing world using only 5 buttons and a dream. But he didn't just write a soundtrack, he wrote the Vibe Bible for one of the greatest adventures of all time. Today, I want to celebrate the 40th anniversary of The Legend of Zelda by diving into the psychological wizardry of young Link's journey. So this is part 1 of a 2-part deep dive into the music of Ocarina of Time, and I'm super stoked to get into it. Welcome to Quest Beats. Let's jump right in. Welcome back. If you're new here, we break down why the music you love in video games actually works. And I realized something when I was replaying Ocarina of Time recently for this video. We really take the atmosphere for granted. We think of it just like existing, like air. But in Ocarina of Time, the music is just more than that. It's a physical layer of the entire world. Kondo had a massive challenge. How do you make a 64-bit world feel more infinite when you're limited by the N64's hardware? Well, his answer wasn't more notes, it was intention. So we're gonna start in the Kokiri Woods, where the music is literally trying to hide you from the world. Kokiri Forest. Listen to that flute. It's breezy, it's bouncy, and let's be real, it gets a little annoying when you stay too long, but that's the sustainable genius at work. Technically, we are playing in Lydian mode. Now, stay with me. All that Lydian mode means is the 4th note of the scale is raised. This creates this floaty, dreamlike feeling. It's the musical equivalent of a no adults allowed sign. You notice the percussion? It's just a heartbeat. Kondo is keeping your heart rate steady when you learn the controls. There's no dark chords, no grown-up problems, just a safety blanket made of woodwinds. It's the last time in this entire game you're ever gonna really feel safe before you start your adventure. Then, we leave. We hit the trail, we dodge some skeletons, and we find Kakariko Village. Notice the shift in the air. We swapped magical airy flutes for human instruments. Kakariko is the sound of community. It's folk music. While it's grounded, like the forest made you feel like you were floating around, Kakariko makes you feel like it's coming from the ground underneath you. Probably because, there's a lot more to this town than it seems. But there's just something about the homey feeling of Kakariko Village that makes you feel very different than you did at Kokiri Forest. I was actually talking to some of my musician friends about the Ocarina of Time soundtrack recently. So you hear like a synthesizer and it feels very alien, right? Well, a guitar, it feels like a neighbor playing on their porch. Kondo wanted you to feel that feeling of the neighbor on the porch. He wanted you to feel that Kakariko was a place where people actually lived. It's the typical comfort of a home that knows its history. I wanted to take a moment to shout out my Fourth Wall website down below. For $5 a month, you can help support me and my dog here. And if you like what you're hearing and you like what you see, go ahead and give me a support there. I've got a bunch of really sick merch with my logo on it, and I can't wait to see you there. Yeah, check it out, and I hope you have a great day. Next, let's go to one of my absolute favorite places in the entire world of video games. We hit a vibe shift that honestly shouldn't work as well as it does. Zora's domain. Just listen to that reverb for a second. Kondo pulls out the steel drums in a medieval fantasy game. That's insane. How does that work? Well, it works because of environmental storytelling. By using a warm tropical instrument in a cold, echoing cave, he creates a sensory glitch in your brain. These long, ghostly voice pads in the background make room feel infinite. You aren't just in a cave, you're in a sanctuary. He's using this sound to make you feel the humidity of the room. You can practically smell the moss coming off of the rocks. It's just the peak of being a kid. The moment you realize the world is much bigger and stranger than the forest that you came from. It's such a beautiful track. You hear it in a lot of YouTube videos, and there's a reason for that. It's because a lot of people remember how distinct it felt to walk into Zora's domain, and it was such an incredible experience the first time you ever hear it. I love it so much. So like we said earlier, safety, community, and wonder. Young Link's world is built on these 3 pillars. It's beautiful, it's innocent, and in 7 years, it's going to be all gone. So in part 2, we're going to see what happens when the flute stops and the guitars break and the organs take over. We're going to take a look at the sound of loss. Drop a comment below and let me know what your favorite Young Link tracks are. I have so many favorite ones, and there's a lot of other great songs in the adventure, but I really wanted to point out these 3 that meant a lot to me, and they kind of stand out in a way of like what Young Link's adventure is in your start of Ocarina of Time before you really get into the meat of the game. Let me know which of these 3 tracks is your favorite go-to for relaxation. We're going to do more videos with the 40th anniversary of Zelda coming up, but I really wanted to start with Ocarina of Time and doing a part 1 of the series. I really appreciate you watching. Thank you so much for checking it out, and let me know below what other Zelda games you'd like for me to cover, and we'll see if I can get to them. But yeah, I appreciate you so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing night and a great day. My name is PlantBat, and this has been Quest Beats. Later.